Deeny and I'm a physio here at Fawzia Sultan Rehab Institute. I also teach our Pilates class for ladies with back pain. Our class is starting soon on the 7th of September. It'll run every Monday and Wednesday for 6 weeks from 5:15 to 6:15 p.m. It's suitable for anybody with low back pain, upper back pain, pain in the office, anybody who's had surgery, anybody that's had a baby recently, anyone that gets painful carrying their baby, anyone with just tired and tight muscles. If you're worried about whether the class is suitable for you, just call the clinic and ask me. The phone number for the clinic is 257-20338. Our classes have helped a lot of women, a lot of our patients and people that aren't our patients, to get back the ability to do the things that matter to them every day and to reduce their pain. So in order to inform you of what our classes involve, we've put together 3 short exercise programs that you can do at home. Now, if you have any pain during these exercises, stop doing that particular exercise. It just means that your body isn't ready for that one exercise. Try the next one. It's important that you're aware of what your body's trying to tell you. I can't watch you because I'm on this side, so you're going to have to be very vigilant about what your body is capable of. Okay? If you can't do an exercise, no worries. If you come to the class, I can see you and I can modify it for you during the class. That's it. Let's start the exercises. Welcome to week 2. Let's start with warm-up. I'm going to stand to the side so you can see what I'm doing properly. We're going to start the warm-up with a roll down. Tuck the chin, roll the upper neck, lower neck, upper back. Focus on each bone sliding forward slowly on the one below it. And keep a little bend in the knees. And come all the way down as far as is comfortable. Pause here at the bottom. I want you to think about how far down you're getting and how comfortable you are. We're going to do this again at the end of the program and see if it feels any way better to you. Let's start the roll up by tucking the tailbone down to the floor. Think about stacking each individual bone back on top of the one below it. Nice and slow and controlled. Okay, let's do one more. Start with the chin again. Think about that gentle movement of each bone, one after the other, coming forward over the one below it. Again, a nice soft bend in the knees. And feel the stretch at the bottom of the movement. Tuck the tailbone to come back up. And think about one bone at a time, stacking over the one below it. And head up. Okay, let's continue the warm-up with some marching. For this movement, I want you to imagine that your pelvis is a basin of water. Okay? Fill right to the very top, and you don't want any of the water to spill out. So you're going to use your core muscles to help keep this steady as you march one knee slowly up after the other. Keep that head drawn up to the ceiling during the warm-up. Pause here, and let's add in the arms. You're going to bring up the opposite arm to your bent leg. And off we go again. Remember not to spill any water out of that bowl of water in your pelvis. Two more each side. Let's revisit one of the concepts that we had last week, which is the idea of a pair of springs between your bottom ribs and your hip bones to try and switch on this core a little bit and help it control the back. Okay? These springs are only going to work at a very gentle level. So they're not going to pull you like this. All they're going to do is control the movement of the ribs, so that when you do any overhead or leg movements, the ribs sit steady instead of popping up. Okay? Remember these springs for the next few exercises. Okay, we're going to start on the mat, lying on our side, because we're going to work the hip muscles a little bit. Really important for supporting the back above them. We're going to start with the climb exercise. For this one, I want you to stack the legs one on top of the other. Make sure that your feet are right underneath your bottom. And I want you to push your top hip away from your shoulder, as if you're trying to let a little ray of light come underneath your abdomen. Okay? Hand on the mat to stabilize the upper body, and we're going to open and close the top leg like a book. when you're doing this exercise, try to avoid rolling back. Okay, that's not using a whole lot of muscle at all. You should feel this exercise working the muscles up around here. If you feel it traveling down into your leg, I want you to stop and rest. It just means that your muscle is too tired to continue. Let's do 2 more. And relax. Now I want you to come up onto your arm. We're going to work out the side of the body. Now if this exercise hurts your shoulder, I want you to skip it and just do another set of clams. You're going to bring your knees back a little bit, just as about a 10-degree bend in the front of your hips, and rest your arm on your side. Now, as you lift, like this, I want you to imagine a crane lifting up your hips as you bring your arms overhead, and then come back down. And again. So this is a pretty difficult exercise. Don't worry if you can't do it. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And relax. Bring your body right down to the mat again. For the next exercise, we're going to push the top hip away again, let that little ray of light travel across the floor. And I want you to straighten out your top leg. Rest your hand on the mat again, and float your leg up off the mat. Let's slowly bring the leg forward and back, like a windscreen wiper. Now as you do this, make sure your springs are controlling your abdomen. As your leg comes back, you don't want to bulge out here. It's putting too much stress on your back. So keep that little bit of soft tension going through the front here. As you come forward and back, try to keep your body steady. Try not to let it rock too much. Let's do 1 more. And relax. Now for the next exercise, I want you to come onto your back. Now it's really important for this exercise that you switch on these springs to control your ribs. Okay? Let's line up our body in this position. Remember that string pulling your head to the wall behind you. Shoulder blades nice and relaxed onto the floor, and ribs nice and heavy. I want you to bring your arms until about, let's say, 45 degrees from the floor. Now you're going to bring the opposite arm and leg up to 90 degrees together. And relax back down. Switch sides. And relax back down. Now as you switch from side to side, you might feel a little rocking in your pelvis. In order to stabilize that, I want you to imagine a little marble in the middle of your low abdomen. Try not to let that marble roll off the side. Let's do 1 more. And relax back down. Let's switch from the front to the back of the body. We're going to move on with a bridge. Okay? Now for your bridge, I want you to relax your back throughout the exercise. Imagine the muscles either side of your spine, soft like cooked spaghetti. Okay? We're going to drive up through the glutes here, the bottom muscles, into your bridge. Okay? So I want you to tilt back, roll up like a wheel, and then pick one bone after the other off the mat from your spine. Reverse on the way back down, place one bone at a time, right back down on the mat, and roll the pelvis out like a wheel. Let's go again. You should feel a lot more work going through here than here. Now, if you find this movement uncomfortable or difficult, just practice the wheel, okay? Let's set up your posture again. Stack the legs one on top of the other. Make sure that your heels are right underneath your bottom, and push that top hip away from the top shoulder, allowing that little ray of light to come underneath your abdomen. Place your hand on the mat to lock up the upper body, And let's open and close the top leg like a book. And don't worry about how many of each exercise you get done. It's all about how well you do them. Again, if you feel any pain or tightness down the side of your calf, relax, take a break. Let's do one more. And relax. Okay, come up onto your arm. We're going into our side bend. Let's bring the knees back a little bit, so there's a 10-degree bend here. Rest the arm on top of your hip. And let's imagine that crane lifting your hip up off the mat. Again, if this is too difficult for you or uncomfortable, skip it, go back to another set of clams. Let's do one more. And come right back onto the mat. Okay, bend your knees into the clam position again, and let's straighten the top leg. Float it up off the floor, and let's bring it forward and back like a windscreen wiper. Make sure that little ray of light is still passing underneath your abdomen. Try to keep the body as steady as you can. You can imagine a glass of water sitting here that you don't want to fall off. Let's do one more. And relax. And that's our week 2 exercises done. Time for the cool down. Come down to the mat, lie on your back. Let's begin with a hamstring stretch. Now, if you have any pain during this stretch, just relax off a little bit. Let's switch legs. Let's continue by stretching out those muscles that we're working hard during your clam exercises. Cross one knee over the other and pull up to your chest. Now you may or may not give your stretch side a little bit of a push down at the knee. It depends on how you're feeling. If you feel you've gotten enough of a stretch without pushing down, just leave it as it is. If you feel you need a little bit more, give a little gentle glide down to that knee. Let's switch to the other side. Now if you can't reach your knee with your hand, you can use a towel. Let's come up onto the side. Now you can either cross your knees like this, or if that's too uncomfortable, you can cross them in front like this. I want you to reach all the way up towards the same side as your feet are pointing and feel a stretch down the side of the body. Roll down to the front and let's switch legs. And come up to the other side. And roll down to the front again. Now we're going to come up into standing, where we can check our roll down again and see if it feels any easier now than it did at the start. Start by tucking the chin, bend the upper neck, lower neck, upper back, mid back, and low back, one bone at a time, and come all the way down to the floor. And you should find that you're able to come a little bit further down now than you were before. Start the roll up by pointing the tailbone to the floor. a time on top of the one below it. Let's do one more. Start with the chin as always. Tuck the top ribs over the bottom ones. Keep that little soft bend in the knees. And fold over the hips. All the way down, only as far as is comfortable. Start your roll up. One bone at a time. I hope you feel a little bit lighter and a little looser now, and I hope you feel some of your muscles have woken up. Remember, our classes are every Monday and Wednesday, 5:15 p.m. for 6 weeks starting on the 7th of September. You don't need to bring anything with you besides some loose, comfortable clothing and one of these, a big smile, and hopefully I'll see you there.